A young boy saw a man trapped in the crushing jaws of a crocodile, seconds from being dragged under. No weapons, no backup, just sheer courage. Instead of running, he did the unthinkable. What gave him the strength to face a predator that could end him in one bite? And more importantly, did he make it out alive?
Guide is now recovering at home following a shock crocodile attack in the Northern Territory last week. Sean Fiumara was with a group on an Arnhem Land river when it happened. A 3-metre-long salty grabbed him by the leg and dragged him out of his boat and into the water. 14-year-old Isaac Hammond, though, who was on the fishing trip, is now being hailed a hero because he jumped to Sean's aid.
It was supposed to be a regular fishing trip, a relaxing day on the water, catching fish and soaking in the Northern Territory's wild beauty. But for 14-year-old Isaac Hammond, that day turned into a life-or-death moment he'd never forget. Isaac was out on the Glide River with his dad, Misha, and older brother, Oliver. Their guide, Sean Fiumara, a guy who'd spent years navigating these crocodile-infested waters, was leading the way. Everything seemed normal. The boat drifted peacefully, rods were cast, and there was no sign of the nightmare that was about to unfold. And then, out of nowhere, a massive 3.5-meter saltwater crocodile exploded out of the water. No warning, no time to react, just a blur of scales, muscle, and teeth. Before anyone could process what was happening, the beast clamped onto Sean's leg and yanked him straight into the river. For a split second, there was just stunned silence, then chaos. Isaac, sitting just feet away, saw it all happen. 1 second, Sean was standing there talking. The next, he was gone, ripped into the water by a prehistoric monster. Instinct kicked in. Without hesitating, Isaac lunged forward, searching the churning water for any sign of Sean. His dad was already moving too, and then there he was. Sean resurfaced, his face twisted in pain, blood clouding the water around him, but he was still fighting. He had somehow pried himself free from the crocodile's grip. Isaac didn't think, he just acted.
You're a bloody hero. How did you do it?
Yeah, it was a bit of shock when he first fell in. I sort of jumped up and didn't know what was happening, but I did when I saw the big crocodile in the water. So I grabbed him when he was in the water and pulled him in, and Dad helped me pull him onto the boat.
So, Isaac, you've got him back in the boat. What's the crocodile doing at this stage?
It's at the back of the boat, sort of tailing us and trying to get another go at Sean.
So what did you do? Like, I can't imagine it's fun sitting there while a croc's still trying to have a go.
Nah, it wasn't. Sean had to get up and splashed around in the water, like put his hand in the water to try and get the croc to come over, and then hit it with a big pole.
Oh, God, Isaac, can I say you were
He reached out, grabbed Sean's arm, and held on with everything he had. His dad was right there beside him, both of them pulling, dragging Sean up and out of the water as fast as they could. The adrenaline was pumping so hard that Isaac barely noticed how heavy Sean was. In that moment, there was only one mission: get him back into the boat before that crocodile came back for another round. Somehow, they did it. They hauled Sean back over the edge, and he collapsed onto the deck, gasping for breath, his leg torn up but still attached. The wounds were nasty, deep punctures from the croc's teeth, blood running down his knee. But Sean, tough as nails, didn't panic. Even with pain ripping through his body, he stayed unbelievably calm. And here's the part that will blow your mind. Sean was the one who took control.
So you are the most chill young man I've ever met for what you've gone through. You seem to be very relaxed about this whole thing, recounting it. Were there any warning signs that the croc was going to attack when you could see it? Did you think it was go time?
No, we hadn't seen any crocs the entire day, and it snuck up on all of us.
Oh, and then what were you thinking? So the moment when you had to reach down to save him, what was going through your head when you put your hand? Like, I won't put my hand anywhere now that I think about it. But you reached down to a crocodile to try to save. What were you thinking about?
I wasn't really thinking. Just wanted to get out.
What was it like coming face to face with a monster, a 4-metre crocodile? What did he look like up close?
It was intimidating, but yeah, he was really aggro, and he stayed around the boat until we actually had to drive off.
Despite being the one who just got dragged into the water by a dinosaur, Sean grabbed the wheel and started steering the boat back to safety. It took 40 minutes to get to shore, 40 long, nerve-wracking minutes with everyone watching the water, half expecting the crocodile to come charging back.
So when you pulled Sean, the fishing guide, back into the boat, I mean, how badly had he been bitten?
Oh, it was definitely pretty bad. He had a bunch of puncture wounds on his leg, and he used his hand to open the croc's jaw, so he was in a bit of a bad shape.
When they finally reached the lodge, Sean got medical help before being rushed to Royal Darwin Hospital for surgery. He survived, and he made one thing very clear: if it wasn't for Isaac's quick reaction, he might not have made it out of that river alive. News of the attack spread fast. Isaac's story hit headlines, and people couldn't stop talking about how a 14-year-old kid had helped save a grown man from a full-blown crocodile attack. He even ended ended up on TV, retelling the moment he saw Sean disappear into the water. And while Isaac stayed humble, calling it all instinct, everyone else knew the truth. He had done something truly incredible. That day on the Glide River wasn't just a fishing trip. It was a moment of pure bravery, a split-second decision that changed everything. Because when faced with danger, Isaac didn't freeze. He didn't back down. He saved a life. Saltwater crocodiles, or salties, as they're colloquially known, are the world's largest living reptiles, with males often exceeding 6 meters in length. These apex predators have been around for over 200 million years, a living testament to survival and adaptation. In the Northern Territory, their population has seen a remarkable resurgence. From a mere 3,000 individuals in the 1970s, protective measures have allowed their numbers to swell to over 100,000 today.
32 feet 10 inches, or about 10 meters. Now, some sources will say he netted and killed the croc and then examined it. Others say he measured a bank the croc was on, and the bank was 30 feet, and the crocodile was bigger than the bank, so it would have been about 33 or 32 feet. But we don't have any remains.
This population boom has led to an increased frequency of human-crocodile encounters, sometimes with tragic outcomes. Take, for instance, the harrowing incident at Cahill's Crossing in Kakadu National Park, a notorious hotspot for crocodile activity. A family, including a young child, was filmed dangerously close to the water's edge, seemingly oblivious to the lurking dangers. The footage sparked outrage and served as a stark reminder of the ever-present risks in these habitats.
1926 to 1932, James R. Montgomery had a problem with his rubber plantation. The problem? Big crocodiles. How big? Well, he claimed to have shot crocs over 6 meters or 20 feet in an attempt to protect locals who did laundry by the river. Now 20 feet is big, but it's not the biggest salty he dealt with. There was another infamous, massive crocodile.
Cahill's Crossing isn't just a scenic spot. It's a known haunt for saltwater crocodiles. Despite numerous warnings and well-documented dangers, people continue to underestimate the peril. In another alarming event, 2 men attempted to drive their ute across the crossing during high tide, a decision that nearly cost them their lives. Their vehicle was swept away, leaving them stranded in crocodile-infested waters. Miraculously, they were rescued without injury, but the incident underscored the lethal unpredictability of these environments. The Mary River, another picturesque locale, holds a more sinister title. It boasts the highest density of saltwater crocodiles in the world, with about 15 crocs per kilometer. Yet despite this staggering statistic, some individuals still tempt fate. A video surfaced showing a man wading into these treacherous waters to fish, ignoring explicit warnings from experts. Such reckless actions not only endanger the individuals, but also put rescuers at risk, and can lead to the unnecessary culling of crocodiles deemed a threat. The Northern Territory government has implemented the Be Crocwise program to educate both residents and visitors about crocodile safety. This initiative emphasizes maintaining a safe distance from the water's edge, adhering to warning signs, and understanding that any body of water in the region could be home to these stealthy predators. The program also highlights the ecological significance of saltwater crocodiles, reminding us that while they are dangerous, they are also a vital part of the region's biodiversity. Despite these efforts, complacency or ignorance can lead to perilous situations. A 19-year-old camper learned this the hard way when a crocodile dragged him from his tent, pitched just 15 meters from a creek. He survived, but the incident serves as a chilling reminder of the ever-present dangers in crocodile country. The Northern Territory's waterways are as perilous as they are picturesque. The thriving population of saltwater crocodiles commands respect and caution. Whether you're a local or a visitor, understanding and adhering to safety protocols isn't just advisable, it's essential. The wild allure of the top end comes with inherent risks, and acknowledging this reality is key to coexisting safely with one of nature's most efficient predators. Venturing into Australia's Northern Territory is like stepping into a land where time stands still, a place where ancient predators lurk beneath serene waters, waiting for the unprepared. The recent harrowing incident involving fishing guide Sean Fiumara, who was nearly dragged into the depths by a saltwater crocodile, serves as a stark reminder of the lurking dangers. But Sean's story isn't an isolated one. The top end has a history rich with tales that blur the line between adventure and peril. In a terrifying encounter, a family, including a young child, were casually playing near the water's edge at Cahill's Crossing in Kakadu National Park, a spot infamous for its dense crocodile population. Unbeknownst to them, several massive crocs were just meters away, their eyes gleaming with predatory intent. This chilling scene was captured on video, sparking outrage and highlighting the thin veil between leisure and life-threatening danger. In another heart-pounding episode, former England cricket legend Ian Botham found himself entangled in ropes, slipping headfirst into the crocodile-infested Moyle River. It was his old Ashes rival, Merv Hughes, who pulled him to safety, turning a potential tragedy into a tale of camaraderie and quick thinking. These narratives, as gripping as they are, underscore a critical truth. The Northern Territory's waterways are as perilous as they are picturesque. Understanding and respecting the realm of the saltwater crocodile is not just advisable, it's essential. The Northern Territory's waterways are breathtaking, but they come with a lurking danger that demands respect. Saltwater crocodiles aren't just part of the scenery, they are apex predators, and the risks of crossing their path are very real. While incidents like Sean Fiumara's terrifying encounter make headlines, close calls happen far more often than people realize. And here's the hard truth. Most of these could be avoided if people followed proper safety measures. Staying safe in croc country isn't just about common sense. It's about knowing exactly how these creatures operate and avoiding the kind of mistakes that turn an afternoon by the water into a life or death situation. First rule, stay away from the water's edge. Sounds simple, right? But time and time again, people underestimate how fast and powerful crocs are. One moment of distraction, one step too close, and that's all they need. Crocodiles don't just attack, they ambush. They can remain completely motionless for hours, blending perfectly with their surroundings, waiting for the right moment to strike. Fishing, camping, and swimming require extra precautions. Fishing from a boat is safer than from the bank, but even then, keeping hands and feet inside is critical. And forget about washing your hands or rinsing off fish scraps near the water. That's an open invitation for a croc to investigate. When setting up camp, experts recommend staying at least 50 meters from the water and never leaving food scraps behind. Crocodiles are intelligent. They learn where food sources are, and if one has been hanging around a campsite, you can bet it'll return. Swimming? That's a hard no, unless you're in a designated safe zone. And even then, risk still lingers. Some attacks have happened in places people assumed were safe because crocs move between water systems. Just because no one's seen one doesn't mean it isn't there. Even ankle-deep water can be dangerous, as smaller crocs have been known to lunge at people standing too close. Now, if the worst happens and someone is attacked, every second counts. Crocodiles go for a death roll, trying to disorient and drown their prey. If caught in a croc's grip, the best chance of survival is fighting back. Aiming for the eyes and throat is the most effective way to make it let go. Once a person is free, stopping the bleeding is priority number one. Croc bites cause massive tissue damage, and victims lose blood fast. Applying firm pressure and keeping the injured limb elevated can slow the loss. Shock is another major danger, and keeping the person warm, conscious, and reassured can mean the difference between survival and tragedy. Emergency services play a crucial role in getting victims to medical help as fast as possible. In remote areas, care flight is often the first responder, providing rapid air evacuation and on-the-spot medical care. Their ability to reach isolated locations quickly has saved countless lives, turning what could have been fatal injuries into recoverable ones. The Glide River incident serves as a stark reminder of the inherent dangers present in crocodile-inhabited regions. By following recommended safety measures and ensuring prompt emergency responses, the risks associated with human-crocodile interactions can be significantly reduced. The bottom line, respect the dangers, follow the rules, and don't take unnecessary risks. Crocodiles have been perfecting their hunting skills for millions of years. Outsmarting them isn't an option. One moment, you're enjoying a peaceful day on the water. The next, there's a splash, a struggle, and pure terror unfolding right in front of you. That's exactly what happened in the Northern Territory when a 3-meter crocodile latched onto guide Sean Fiumara and yanked him from the boat. For most people, witnessing something like that would be paralyzing, but not for 14-year-old Isaac Hammond. Instead of freezing, he jumped into action, helping to pull Sean to safety. Now, here's the thing. Heroic moments like this don't just fade away. They stick with you. The adrenaline rush fades, but the memories, the nightmares, the what-ifs, those can linger. Trauma doesn't always hit like a thunderclap. It seeps in, slow and steady. Experts say that witnessing something so violent, especially at a young age, can rewire the brain's response to fear. It's why some people develop anxiety, have flashbacks, or even struggle to return to places tied to the event. And Isaac, he's just a kid. Brave, no doubt. But that doesn't mean he walks away from this unscathed. The good news? Community support is a powerful thing. Isaac's quick thinking was celebrated far and wide. News outlets covered his story. Social media lit up with praise, and he became a local hero. And while that kind of recognition can help shift fear into pride, it's not always enough. Counseling, open conversations, and making sure he has the space to process everything. That's what really matters. And it's not just about Isaac. Events like this send shockwaves through entire communities, reminding everyone just how dangerous these waters are. It's why awareness, mental health support, and education on handling trauma are just as important as knowing how to survive a crocodile attack in the first place. The Northern Territory is home to some of the most breathtaking yet dangerous landscapes on the planet, and stories like Sean Fiumara's near-fatal encounter serve as chilling reminders of the risks lurking beneath the surface. Saltwater crocodiles are more than just relics of a prehistoric past. They are nature's ultimate ambush predators, masters of patience and precision. And while survival stories like Sean's are extraordinary, the harsh reality is that not everyone gets a second chance. Isaac Hammond's quick thinking that day on the Glide River was nothing short of heroic. In the face of sheer terror, he didn't hesitate. He acted. His instincts, courage, and sheer determination helped save a man's life. But this isn't just a story of bravery, it's a warning. The wilderness of the top end is unforgiving, and underestimating its dangers can have devastating consequences. As croc populations continue to grow, so does the potential for more encounters. That's why understanding and respecting these creatures isn't just important, it's essential. Every decision, every step near the water's edge could be the difference between a close call and catastrophe. The lesson here, nature doesn't play by human rules. And in crocodile country, the only way to stay safe is to stay smart. And that's where we'll wrap things up. What do you think about everything we covered? Do you agree with how things played out, or do you see it differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.